Hey, what's poppin', motherfuckers? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Nate Ridge. You know how it is, you know how we do. Today, we're going to be reacting to Bad Friend by Crypt. It was his first single, if I'm not wrong, that dropped off his new album, Buried Alive. Crypt recently put a tweet out saying, basically, he's not going to copyright claim anybody's videos reacting to his music. So you got to respect him for that. Can't wait to check it out. I'm expecting big things. He's a lyrical rapper, so I'm expecting some punchlines, stuff like that. Not just it to sound great, but he does have his very identifiable style, let's call it. He's got an identifiable style, which I'm looking forward to hearing how he's tweaked it for the new album, seeing what he's got. I'm really excited. Let's go for it. Nice piano to open up. Oh shit, man, this might get deep.
2:30 in the morning and I get a text from my friend. She said I need you right now, and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See, on the outside we're happy.
Damn, okay. This is gonna be a storytelling type beat then, and it's gonna be deep. He's got the video to go along with it. Obviously that's Crypt, the guy in the video. I'm not sure who the woman is, but yeah, it's gonna be a deep video. We got that kind of relationship with that type of friends. I already knew that she was going through shit. She didn't have to tell me.
And we show it to the world, and we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is, cause it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help, and it couldn't be any clearer. So I pick up the phone and call her as she...
So let's talk about the instrumental. You've got them vocals in the background, which sound like they've got quite a lot of the high-end taken out. The fuller reverb, which is making them sound real spaced out. Don't know whether they've been chopped or changed. They've got some kind of effect on them. It's obviously making them sound a bit mumbled as well and kind of choppy. And then we had the nice piano with a lot of high end. It was quite a bright piano. That was playing the main real slow melody line. And then just then we've heard the kick come in. It sounds like quite an electronic kick. Yeah, it's just quite a standard storytelling type beat. Do you know what I mean? It's going to have its ebbs and flows. It's going to really build up at times. I'm thinking maybe some violins to come in right at the end. I don't know. I'm only guessing. We're 36 seconds in. Shit, man. Let's keep going.
Dances through her cries. She's hyperventilating, telling me that she wants to die. My heart starts to race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I try to calm her down and tell her what she means to me. Even though we're new friends, she's seen a side that no one sees. Told her, listen to my breaths. I'm right here. Please breathe. You got so much left to do.
See? Like I was saying in my other videos, the panning then, what Crypt has done, or whoever produced the track, might have been Crypt, it might have been somebody else. The vocals then, split fully mono left, and then fully far right. It just gives you that extra breakup, it just gives you that extra impact, it catches the attention of the audience, it catches the attention of the listener. It's just like a nice little sprinkle on the top of a nice track, you know, if you've done all the mixing right, done all the mastering right, your writing's good, your delivery's good, your production on the track's good. It's just them extra little twinkles, them extra little sparks that really make your tune stick out. It doesn't always have to be outrageous, like, you know, having the full track pushed to the left and then the full track pushed to the right, and do you know what I mean, completely split. Even if it's just very, very subtle, it's a great tool that not enough producers are using.
Stay here, don't leave. The cries got even louder as the breaths got short. I told her, listen to my words as I fell down to the floor. Stay with me, I'm here, let it out, it's okay. Just cry till you can't cry, no more tears down your face. A couple minutes went by and the crying finally stopped. But not because she did, because the phone call dropped. I called her back quick, just hoping I'd hear hello. But I just kept getting met with the sounds of those dial tones. I froze. What do you do in that moment? Do you call the police, or do you hope that she...
When I was talking about ebbs and flows there, all the background noise has dropped right out, the drums have dropped right out, all you've got is that piano now and then some ambience kind of pad synth sounds. It's correlating with Crypt's voice as well. He's bouncing off the track just like how we had with the Lil Dicky Bruh video. So when the track is going up and it's really filling up, you've got loads of instruments playing together and it's a really full, loud sound. Crypt is sounding kind of irate, he's sounding kind of agitated, he's got more energy, he's like... And then when it's dropped out again, you've not got the drums or anything in there. It's just this pad in the piano. Crypt's talking. He's got a low level. He's dropped his voice in terms of pitch. It just works really, really well. It's just so cohesive and it helps tell the story. And it helps give the listener a break. And then you come back in. And when you do come back in and you fill right back up again, the impacts are twice as hard. You know what I mean?
She's over it. Get a hold of her parents and tell them the situation, just so they can pull her from college and end her aspirations. Leave it alone and hope it was just an escapade. Pray from a text from her in the morning saying that she's okay. Call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. I let it go. She must have wanted to be alone. I guess that this was just another one of her episodes. She never told no one about this depression she dealt with, and who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my bed and I rested my head, closed my eyes and drifted peacefully to sleep. Then
I like that little that rhyme scheme then. Lay down in my bed and I rested my head. It was just a nice little break in the rhyme scheme. Before that it was just rhyming the end of each bar, and then it was a nice little split bar. Then it just, you know, give that, like I was saying, them extra sprinkles, them extra tweaks. It's just, you don't have to put them in every single line, in every single bar, and every single quarter note, do you know what I mean? But it's just now and then, maybe once in a verse, twice in a chorus, something like that. Every now and then in a breakdown or something like that, middle eight. It's just nice to add something different, and it really just spices up, flavors up your track. It's almost like the same effect as ad-libs, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily need ad-libs on a track, but the ad-libs just make it sound that much fuller and give it that much more effect and impact, you know what I mean? So it's always worth thinking about adding little tiny tweaks and flavors in.
That I would see her tomorrow and I would speak to her then, till I was woken to several missed calls and texts that she's dead. My heart broke. She downed a bottle of pills. She took them shortly after our call ended, and it felt surreal. She was a friend of many, a student athlete at her school, a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel. At the funeral they told us that nobody had a clue that they could have saved her life, if only that they knew. And if someone at the funeral had ever felt depressed, to get some help so that your face won't ever end up in the press. There wasn't a dry face in the room, only 22 years old, an entire life in front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like a letter.
There's a nice delay effect on his vocals as well. It feels really weird, like I'm listening to this and I'm getting fucking goosebumps, do you know what I mean? Because of the story that he's telling, but there's not much I can say. He's not trying to sugarcoat anything, do you know what I mean? He's not throwing in so many similes and metaphors. There's not really anything for me to break down in terms of the lyrics. It's just a well-written story type song. Like, I know obviously this shit happens all the time, literally all the time, every single day, all around the world. I'm just hoping that we don't get to a last bar. I'm hoping he doesn't say it's true, but we'll see,
Down, but that's not what happened. Cause instead of going to bed, I called every person I knew to check to make sure you weren't dead. I stayed up 7 hours praying every second of it, just hoping to get a text saying that you weren't heaven sent. But then I got it. You told me that I had no right and blocked me on everything, and we ain't talked since that night. Was I a bad friend? Options? I had none. I guess I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad one.
Ooh. Fair enough. It was just your standard storytelling track. There wasn't too much going on in it. It was all there. It was all effective. Do you know what I mean? Everything was efficient. You know, the drums were coming in only when they were needed to. It wasn't playing throughout the whole track, and it really emphasized them sections when Crypt was speeding up his lyrics or speeding up the tempo of the story that he was telling.
It all just correlated and worked really well together, and then it helped back up the emotions that the story he was telling, his lyrics were telling, were trying to convey.
The fuck did I just say? Basically, every single thing in there was in there and it had a purpose and it was doing a job. You weren't just putting in filler sounds. It's the difference between getting like 100 plays on the track or getting like 100,000 plays on the track. It's just them little tiny details and making sure that everything is efficient and every single thing has a purpose on your track. You're not just throwing it in there because that's what you're used to doing, or
I always use this hi-hat on a track, so I'm gonna chuck this hi-hat in, or I always use this bass line.
It's about catering each track and each instrumental and each beat or whatever you're writing, whether it's lyrics or anything like that, catering everything that you do in every piece of art to that purpose. Not every track's going to be the same. If I'm making like an indie cover of a track and it's all live instruments, acoustic instruments.
It's one I made earlier.
Then I'll be mixing and adding effects completely different to how I'll be mixing a sample drum kit where I'm just using, you know, MIDI inputs and stuff like that. I don't know how it'll compare when you're looking at like Joyner Lucas's that track he did, that storytelling track, you know. He's got I'm Not Racist, which was out of this world. I don't think I could give it dope, this track Bad Friend by Crypt, because when I put it side by side, the storytelling in Joyner Lucas just grips me, and I don't know whether that was because it was twice as long of a track. I think it was nearly 7 minutes. Both of them, he did I'm Not Racist, and then he did what was there was another track where he did a storytelling track about this kid who went to a new school, and then he ended up, you know, getting his car ticket, meeting this guy, becoming mates with this guy, and he ended up getting killed by this guy. could steal his car, and Johnny Lucas tells it in 2 different perspectives, and it's just incredible the way that he does it. I think it just hits slightly different. I think it just hits a bit harder than this did for me. I don't know what it was about it, but this didn't really catch me. Like, I was still getting goosebumps at the thought of it, but that's just because the topic is, you know, one of them topics where you will get goosebumps thinking about people, you know, ODing or committing suicide or shit like that, or being put in that position as the friend, like trying to make that decision on whether you rat them out, you snitch on them, or whatever you see it as that perspective, when really, what options do you have? Like he was saying, I had no options. I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad friend, do you know what I mean? I'd rather like still have you here, keep you here, and not speak to you than fucking like do you know what I mean? What was his choices? I do get it, that situation is fucked, but yeah, I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't seem to hit me as much as some of the other storytelling tracks that I've heard. It's still a good track though, but yeah, I'm not gonna give it dope. I'm sorry guys, I love Crypt, but I'm gonna be saving them dopes for the tunes that get me gassed, do you know what I mean? For the tunes that get me gassed, so gonna have to be a no. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, it really does help me out while I'm trying to build the channel. My new EP, Waterview Park, is out on everything at the minute. Whatever you use to stream music, my Waterview Park EP will be out. My Waterview Park EP? My EP, Waterview Park, will be out on that streaming service. As always guys, stay good until next time. I love you all. Peace.
Come with me, turn out the lights. You're not the only one with a dark side. You're not the only one with a dark side.
You know, I used to think that this life was about faith, whipping out doubt, turning frowns like about face. Now I'm trying to hide from the clouds and the dark shapes. I'm making loud sounds out of my mouth like you shout rain. When she came along, I thought an angel had found me. I dropped to my knees, bowed my head in a loud praise. She lifted up my chin saying, baby